Good evening. Today is July the 29th. My video today is, are you really listening? That can be something that can be a challenge for any of us, is actually listening to what God is saying to us, spending time to listen. Too many times we get to praying and it's a wish list we want God to answer and take care of for us, but at the same time we don't stop to listen what God has to say back. And this is something that it took me a long time to finally understand, that prayer is supposed to be a two-way communication. It's not one-lane traffic. So, you have some days when your body gives out, your heart feels completely empty, like there's nothing left in the tank. But God gets it. But even when you've got nothing, you've still got Him. When your own strength runs dry, God becomes the strength that holds you together. God's not going anywhere. Lean on Him now, and He'll be enough to carry you through this. We have to remember He's always there. It's a matter of putting everything in His hand instead of trying to do it under our own strength. Psalm 73 verse 26 tells us, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the rock and firm strength of my heart and my portion forever." We need to understand, a lot of times our body wants to run the show, and you can't let it. The cravings, impulses, the voice saying, just this once, they'll steer you off course, dump you off in a ditch, and if you let them, lead you into paths you don't even want to follow. You need to take charge of yourself, train it, discipline it, and keep it in line with what God says in His Word. You've told other people how to live. Don't get sidelined because you never learned to say no to yourself. That's powerful. 1 Corinthians 9 verses 25 through 27. "Now every athlete who goes into training conducts himself temperately and restricts himself in all things. They do it to win a wreath that will soon wither, but we do it to receive a crown of eternal blessedness that cannot wither. Therefore I do not run uncertainly, without definite aim. I do not box like one beating the air and striking without an adversary. But like a boxer, I buffet my body, handle it roughly, discipline it by hardships, and subdue it for fear that after proclaiming to others the gospel, things pertaining to it, I myself should become unfit, not stand the test, and be unapproved and rejected as a counterfeit." That makes me think of the things that I've seen during my lifetime. Ministers that had the world at their feet. Powerful ministers. But they didn't restrain themselves. They wound up opening that door to sin, which the devil's very good at temptation. And they opened their doors to that and wound up falling. And that's what we never want to do. We have to remember temptation's always out there, but we have to fight against it. We don't work under our own strength. It's God that gives us the strength to overcome all obstacles. And finally, think about when you're listening to people. Slow down and actually listen. We have a habit of jumping in with an answer before the other person even finishes. And I've been guilty of that, I promise you. Half the time, you're responding to what you assumed, not what they said. That's not smart. It just embarrasses you later. Hear people out all the way first, then speak. You'll be surprised how much you were about to miss. Proverbs 18:13 says, "He who answers a matter before he hears the facts, it is folly and shame to him." And it references John 7, verse 51, which says, "Does our law convict a man without giving him a hearing and finding out what he has done?" In James 1, verses 19 and 20, it says, "Understand this, my beloved brethren, let every man be quick to hear, a ready listener, slow to speak, slow to take offense, and to get angry. For a man's anger does not promote righteousness. God wishes and requires, saying just this once, you'll steer you." Oh, excuse me. That was the end of it. Excuse me. "For the man's anger does not promote the righteousness God wishes and requires." So, I love y'all. Play blessings over you. You have a good night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.